This is WENY News.
Hey there, Twin Tiers. Thanks for clicking on the webcast. I'm Kelly Meyer. Here's the latest from WENY News and the Star-Gazette. Well, our top stories this morning, following up on the big story from this past weekend, 20-year-old Kevin Ward Jr., the Central New York native and sprint car driver who was killed Saturday night after an on-track collision with NASCAR driver Tony Stewart. He died of a massive blunt trauma. The Ontario County Medical Examiner finished the autopsy by late Monday. Now, happening today, investigators plan to review a second video of the incident in which Stewart's car struck Ward as the young driver stood on the dirt track after a spin-out. The examiner says Ward died of his injuries before an ambulance even arrived at the hospital. And the sheriff said the investigation was progressing well, but gave no timeline as to when it would wrap up. Stewart decided to drop out of Sunday's Cheez-It 355 NASCAR race here in our area at Watkins Glen International. Well, and some better news from the race weekend. The event brought in some big bucks for the region. According to the Star-Gazette, the NASCAR race brought in more than 90,000 fans and a $50 million impact in a 9-county region. Throughout Schuyler County, most lodging establishments were sold out for 3 straight nights, and parking lots of motels were full from Elmira to Corning, and around 22,000 campers were at the track. Last year's race drew 94,000 fans. And by later today, we hope to learn more about a deadly fire in Troy. Yesterday morning, Troy firefighters were called to Canton Street across from W.R. Croman Primary School. When they got there, they found a man, a woman, and a dog dead upstairs. The fire chief says the fire started in the front of the house and doesn't believe it was caused by any suspicious behavior. However, the investigation is ongoing. According to the Bradford County coroner, the bodies have been transferred to the hospital in Binghamton to determine the exact cause of death. And this just in, a trial is set to begin this morning involving the family of a Cornell student who jumped to his death in Ithaca. 18-year-old Bradley Ginsburg jumped from the Thurston Avenue Bridge over Fall Creek in February 2010. He was in his second semester at Cornell. According to the Ithaca Journal, the family alleges the city and Cornell knew suicides were likely but didn't install better barriers or nets. Cornell officials did raise concerns about safety rails and had input in the bridge's planning and design. But whether the university had enough control over the bridge's design, construction, and maintenance to hold it as liable is an issue of fact for the jury, according to the judge. The trial is set to begin at 9:30 this morning in Utica. Right now, here is Craig Flint with your forecast. Craig.
Alrighty, Kelly, good morning. Thanks for being on the webcast with us today. And here's how we play. We've got the wet weather out there today, and it's likely going to be wet through the course of the day. That being said, we will probably see a lull in the wet weather here as we head into the afternoon. And look at the numbers today, 70 to 75. That is significantly below normal. This time of year, this time in August, we should be around 82. So breezy day with showers, thunder, some notable showers coming through too, and we could be picking up 1-2 inches of rain by the time all is said and done. Break midday and then redeveloping wet weather as we head into the afternoon. Satellite Doppler radar tracking this batch of wet weather as it slides its way off to the east, but notice this circulation here. Kind of the evolution of how our weather pattern is going to be over the next several days. So we have a mid-level warm front that's lifting through this morning. Then there's a little front back in here, a couple more series of fronts that will swing on through the region today as this area of low pressure tracks up into southern Canada. So this batch goes by this morning, a break, and then as the next system comes in for the afternoon, we will likely see a redevelopment of wet weather. And this area of low pressure will track its way to the north, and it will be slow moving, so it's not going to get out of here for the next couple of days. So here we go with the weather story. Clouds and notable showers as mentioned today, below normal temperatures. We just discussed that with that big area of low pressure over the region here. And as we head into late week, we'll try for some drying with a little more sun coming out day by day. So there's the mid-level disturbance coming through this morning. That's producing the wet weather. Then another little front back to the west. This one comes through this afternoon. That will likely redevelop the wet weather as we head into the afternoon. So a break midday. We have a healthy southerly flow out ahead of that front. So as that occurs, it will tend to work off that moisture-laden atmosphere. So downpours a possibility. Eventually the front comes through, and then it will turn a little cooler, and it stays below normal temperature-wise as we head into much of this upcoming week. So at 3 o'clock, this area of rain will be to the east, and shifting away. But watch what happens with the redevelopment of wet weather as we head into the overnight tonight and into the daytime tomorrow. This will start to shift its way to the east, but I still can't rule out scattered showers popping up here or there on Wednesday and unsettled with below normal readings once again for Wednesday. All right, here's your 7-day forecast, and you'll see what I'm talking about with temperatures in the 70s. We'll try for some drying here as we head into late week with a little more sun day by day. Still below normal temperature-wise, but it does look like it'll get at least a little bit better by the weekend, Kelly.
All right, well, at least the weekend looks good. Make it through the week and looking forward to some sunshine later on. But thanks so much, Craig. And for the latest news, weather, and sports, be sure to watch WENY News at noon, 5:30, 6, and 11. And don't forget to pick up a copy of today's Star Gazette. I'm Kelly Meyer. Have a great day.